Good evening everybody and welcome to the Grand Am series. We're live from Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, which used to be called Mosport. I'm here with Alex Simpson. How are you, Alex?
Yeah, hi guys, sorry I'm full of cold if you just didn't catch all that there as well, apologies. Try and keep that to a minimum, but looking forward to this race. Grand Am, top split, the old Mosport circuit. Should be a good entertaining race.
Yeah, we've just got people gridding up now, so...
Can we just quickly run through the grid while the guys take to it?
Yeah, got the parade lap, don't forget. So, on pole position for the Rileys we have Sebastian. In second we have Eduardo, third Richard, fourth is Andre, fifth is Christian, sixth is Conrad Venter, seventh is Arjun, I'm sorry about that one. Eighth and rounding out the Rileys is Laura. First for the MP4s we have Mirko. If I remember, Mirko is one of the GT Ross guys, could be wrong. In second for the MP4s we have Luigi, third Johan, fourth is Angelero as they set off for the parade lap, fifth is, I wouldn't even like to pronounce this one, but Stani Meiro?
Stanimir Zuzov? Something
yeah,
like
that one. I'll let you pronounce that one, Alex. Just behind him we have Fernando, Yore and RC. So the guys are just on the parade lap at the minute.
Seen a few of these drivers before on previous rounds, so it'd be interesting to see them battling it off. I know, I think it was Johan and Mirko had a good battle Interlagos a few weeks back, so let's see how those two pan out. I'm pretty sure the roles were switched there, so looks like be trying to get his revenge as the Rileys just build up a little bit of a gap in front of the McLaren, so we'll see a split start.
Yeah, I was wrong with the teams. It's actually Team GT. Now, just having a look, and it looks like we have 3 members of the Team GT in the MP4s, which is Marco, Luigi, and Angelero. So some good team photos there for those guys. So Riley's just coming around the airpin. It's a very technical, difficult track this week. For all it looks open and fast and flowing, it's very difficult. I've done minimal practice, that's why I'm commentating rather than racing, so...
Yeah, so what's the challenging parts of the tracks for these cars that we're going to look to see here today?
Mainly the bit that they're coming up to now, which is the final of the straight. Not that you can really call it a straight, but you're literally running down the gears, just letting the engine do the braking. I'm sure you know a lot about that with the F1. But I was dropping it into third coming into the first of one, and then down into second, but the car is just fighting you all the time. But here we go, pace car pulls in, start around the final corner. We're green.
Sebastian got on the dropped the hammer really quick there. Good start from him. Leads going into turn 1.
Here come the MP4s.
Yeah, Mirko nailed it as well. He's got his teammate just behind him. Actually, there's 3 from that team in the top 4. So it's just Johan who's outnumbered here.
Yeah, looks like we've got everybody cleanly through. Riley's just coming into the hairpin. Sebastian, one of the quick guys, raced him a few times.
Obviously we'll be keeping a close eye on Conrad Venter, our Apex Racing UK driver.
As we always do.
Go and miss him in his pink Riley.
Should expect a few battles going on this week, actually, because it's a shortish track. But the top 3 MP4 is just starting to pull away a little bit now.
Yeah, obviously this is a time race and we still haven't got our multi-class timed overlay sorted. So, how long's the race here today?
The race is 50 minutes, so no pit stops needed. I would expect a few people maybe in some walls, as you can see. Eduardo.
Yeah, tricky turn 2.
Definitely into the tyre barrier. So looks like his race done.
Yeah, this front 4 of the MP4s looks ridiculously tight, so let's see how it pans out over the next few laps, but we could be on for a bit of a cracking race here.
Yeah, normally you get about 5 to 10 laps clean in the Rileys before you start picking up any MP4s, but with these guys at this pace, you could be looking a little bit longer. It's always difficult actually to try and pick a good spot to get past them. Rileys look like they've separated out a little bit.
Yeah, it seems like with the MP4s we're just looking at the moment, it seems like there's a definite sort of couple of packs that are forming. As I think Mika's coming under pressure from his teammate here. Obviously any move that's going to happen between these guys is going to have to be very safe and clean. Definitely doesn't want to compromise his teammate and let Johan get through as well.
I wouldn't think there's any team orders here. Maybe if there was a Riley involved, there might be, but I think these guys are just open to racing. I wouldn't expect them to be saying, no, I'm going to win this one. But Luigi's our car number 1. So he's got the highest I rating, which doesn't normally mean anything. Oh!
Johan wide, loses the place. He's done well to avoid hitting the wall, so he's got no damage there, but he's going to find it even harder now. He's got 3 of these team drivers. Sorry, what's the team name again, Dean?
Team GT.
Team GT. Hopefully we'll get those, get some of these added into the overlay so we can see them. Just shout out to the drivers, you know, post inside your Grand Am forum and let us know what team you're on for and we'll get you added to the overlay. Hopefully we're going to start to do a few more of these now for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it seems like we've got maybe a little bit of a battle forming in the Grand Am as well. In the Riley, sorry. With Christian and Andre for 3rd and 4th. Definitely those guys have been close pretty much straight from the start, but seems to be getting ever closer. Conrad Venter just lurking in the background.
Yeah, Conrad always steady driver out there. Picks up all of his results from keeping it clean, not making too many mistakes.
Yeah, I think that's what he's planning to do today as well. He's just trying to keep out of trouble. I think he knows that some guys ahead of him and behind him will probably get a wheel on the grass somewhere and spin off. But Johan in the MP4 has definitely caught back up. To at least front 3.
Yeah, he didn't lose too much time. It was only about a second or so, but he's there straight away, so he's definitely got the pace. I just remember from the Interlagos race, in the end he ran away with it, so it's definitely quick.
Yeah, he's starting to get the hammer down a little bit now.
You get much slipstream off of these cars down that back straight, or?
I've not really done much practice behind any cars. It was early on in the week where I just jumped in and was like, come on, let's give it a go. But the setup that I was running and trying to tweak, all I could do was about 3 laps and then the tyres were completely gone, so I couldn't really get much practice in, so I thought I'll give it a drop this week. Help you guys out with Woody, who seems to have gone AWOL again.
Yeah, Angelo looks like he's coming under a fair bit of pressure now, and he's spending more time looking in his rearview mirror than he is in front of him, so he's dropping off the back of his two teammates here.
Tucked behind.
And actually Johan's having a little look around the outside.
Very brave if you can stick
Oh,
it
he
too wide.
catches the grass again. Is that the same spot earlier on that he went off as well? I think it might have been.
Turn 3, I think. He went off last time.
He had to try something there though. He had the run, so Angelo did the right thing. He covered the line. Said if you're going to go around me, you're going to have to go around the outside.
Definitely worth having a look, and looks like we've got another little battle now, back in the Rileys with Conrad Venter and Laura. Laura, I have actually seen a few times in a practice session. So looks like she's having a look at the inside, as if it is she?
Yeah, hopefully we'll get some clarification on that when they watch broadcast back. Could be Mum's PayPal account, who knows?
It could be. But no, definitely these three are close, and Conrad's starting to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, Conrad had a little gap earlier on, so I don't know if you made a mistake somewhere that we missed off camera.
Wonders at the rewind button.
Sebastian out front of the Rileys though, he's just smashing it at the moment. No one's even anywhere near him now, so I mean last time by, just have a quick look at the lap time difference. I mean it's nearly 1 second from Richard. So no, I have to say Sebastian looks good for a victory here today. All he needs to do is just keep it on the black stuff, don't blow his engine. You were saying about the engine braking and things earlier on. Is that a potential possibility? Have we seen many motors go this week in practice?
Definitely it's a potential. I think it revs up to 7,500 is the max, so anything above that it sort of strains the engine and then wears it a little bit. And then if you do that obviously consistently, it will just completely go on you. So he needs to just be aware. He's definitely got the gap, so you can just back it off a little bit. Definitely running at a great pace. Low 12s. Be expecting to see maybe an 11, if we haven't already.
And still this battle for the MP4s rages on. Marco still defending it up there from Luigi.
Still this battle in the Rileys as well. Just actually had a quick look back at Conrad's last few laps, and looked like turn 2 he ran a little bit deep, so threw the anchors on a little bit more. There's a few different lines actually through the turn where they was going then, off the back straight. Conrad seems to hold the middle line.
He's under a fair bit of pressure, and you think perhaps it's compromising his line a little bit because he doesn't want to lose the place, which is not helping him get away at all. As we know, we find it ever so easy, obviously, people to chase. It's the other way around, isn't it? It's easy to chase down someone, but it's not so easy to be to defend as Laura up the inside.
Again, he seems to just have a little bit too deep into turn 2. Not sure if he's just missing his braking spot. The car looks very stable actually. I've not actually helped him this week with the setup, so... Here we go again, more pressure. Stays out wide. I'd say that's the smartest move.
No, you'd think cover the inside. The move's all going to be done and dusted, I think, by the time they get there. Conrad drops himself down to 7th.
Just being a little bit wary actually. He's throwing it in though still, so there's a nasty bump actually on the inside of turn 1. Caught it a few times and there you go, wide again. Conrad. Yeah, there's a nasty bump on the inside of turn 1, and if you catch it just wrong, it will throw you out onto the other side of the track on the curbing. And then because you're accelerating, it'll just spin the car around and then you're pretty much in the wall. Just looking up ahead.
Should I say Luigi and Mirko seem to have, or vice versa, have pulled a gap from the chasing MP4s now, so it's just a battle between these two.
Mirko's starting to pull away though. Last few laps have been quicker.
Yeah, a couple of tenths last time by, but still less than a second between them.
It looks like Christian's also got past Laura, but Laura's looking at the inside turn 1. Gets it stuck. So Laura back up into 4th now, is it? Seems we may have lost somebody actually. Sebastian's just picked up a few of the MP4s, so definitely motoring ahead.
It looks like we might have lost, is that Arjun?
No, he's sitting in 3rd. Oh, sorry, no, I was thinking of Andre.
Yeah, no, down there, 7th
Andre's
place, got
7th.
massive damage on the front of that car and on the rear as well, so obviously did the hard work to get past Conrad, but he's dropped down. See some hefty time marks there off to the right. I don't know if he was involved in that, but he's sticking with it. He's not coming in. Thought with that much damage it might just be worth boxing it.
Especially in the position that he is, you may as well just see how it is for a few laps then maybe. If you can control it. If you can keep some speed up, just stick with it. Conrad's starting to drop off the back of this little battle just in front.
As we see the Rileys slowly start to catch up to the back of the MP4s, which is
Laura's
just
just
mainly
lost
past.
it actually. Laura just lost it coming out of the hairpin.
Let's have a little replay of that. Let's get it right.
Not sure how that happened really. Car looked perfectly stable.
Yeah, a bit drifty going in. But yeah, it looked like it was all settled, so very unusual.
Unless he was just too short of a first gear. Just kick the back end out. Meanwhile, Mirko's coming under a huge amount of pressure now.
Yeah, and Johan started to catch up to the back of Angelo again as well.
I think with Sebastian just coming through, he might have helped them though. We'll see now what kind of not so much damage, but what kind of gap Sebastian can get through. May have to split these two, sit in the middle of them for a few corners. But again, that could also help Luigi. Luigi's definitely responded to his teammate early on.
Yeah, it did look like Mirko's starting to pull a little bit of a gap, but it's closed right up on him. He knows this is the time he needs to be. Oh, and he goes wide as he lets Sebastian through.
I don't think that was a planned move to let him through. he just caught the brakes a little bit too late. Maybe seeing Sebastian in his rears. There you go, Sebastian's through now. So now the leader gets away. Looks like we've got a battle for second, third and fourth. There you go. Arjun has jumped into the pits, so maybe that damage was a bit too much for him.
Yeah, he was lapping a second or so off the pace from what he was doing earlier on, so over the course of this race it's not going to make too much of a difference whether he pits or not, so better to have a safer car underneath you and be able to get it all the way to the end and maybe pick up a place or two.
Looks like Luigi's starting to pull away from these two.
Yeah, it's not surprising, he was definitely quicker earlier on. And I think if Johan can get himself past Angelo, he could probably go with him, but just seems to be lacking something in straight line speed area. Just can't get a move done. Closest he's got was obviously around the outside.
Has a little look into the airpin. Definitely closer than we've seen him. Pulls out straight away.
Again, he's forced around the outside. He needs to get this done before he gets there, but just doesn't see what I mean. He's almost ducking back in. He still needs the side draft. It's not going to be done by the time he gets there. Yeah, he's going to have to get himself up the inside. It's the only way I can see him getting past. And he's got second place Richard in the Riley's coming through now as well, so he might want to try and make advantage of this. Oh, he might have a run here going down to turn 1, checks back in, lets Richard have it. Now it's important to get right back on it as quickly as possible.
Angelo not really showing any courtesy there to O'Reilly, actually. Just cut straight in front of him.
Yeah, he's gonna have to. Richard's gonna have to go around the outside.
Gets it done though, just as Richard.
Yeah, it looks like Angelo was more concerned about what Johan was doing behind. Didn't want to give anything away there.
Now Johan could let this Riley past and maybe use him with a bit of a tow. Maybe it's a bit too late now, whereabouts they are. Sebastian, wow, still in the 11s. His last two laps were pretty much identical. 2 111s, that's very quick for these kind of tyres.
Yeah, 17 laps in, so it means 18 seconds in front now. It's absolutely flying. Unfortunately, so far ahead, he's not going to get too much airtime.
That's the unfortunate thing. It looks like we've got Johan again. Hounding the back of Angelo.
Yeah, this is definitely the main battle on the track at the moment. Fight for third.
He runs a little wide. Had to catch it slightly.
Luigi's pulled a fair bit away from these guys, but still a long way back from Mirko, so it's looking pretty safe at the moment. Still quite a way to go.
Yeah, we've only had 25 minutes of this race, so coming up to the halfway point. Johan must be getting very frustrated. He just doesn't seem to find a place to getting past. Maybe he needs to start having a little look up the inside somewhere and maybe just catch him off guard.
Yeah, just something that's perhaps going to unsettle him a little bit so he can get a run somewhere else. You got Andre not too far behind Richard. I'm not sure he's going to be able to make much of an impression. Seems like he's closed up a little bit through the traffic phase, but not enough. He's just about to take the leader in the...
Christian's just spun off in the fast downhill left-hander.
Yeah, he's picked up a heavy amount of damage there. Let's get a little bit closer and have a look.
I think he already had the damage on the rear. That might have been the contact actually with Adrian.
Yeah, front end. Whew. Does not look good on that now. It's going to bring Conrad back in play. He should be able to close back up. We'll have a look at what the next few laps are like.
Let's have a look at his laps. Consistent 14s. Quite low 14s, apart from lap 15 where he had a... looks like he might have had an off. The 118.
As he's not getting too much time, how about a lap on board with the leader? So he's just about to cross the start-finish line.
He's actually just crossed it. Maybe next time by we'll get on him. Oh, he's just...
That's heavy. We're in the camera inside the car and it's now pointing somewhere. I'm not sure where. But that is some heavy damage there on the right hand side of that car.
Just have a look.
Not sure what he caught there, but yeah. Oof, look at the damage there. He's struggling with it through that left-hander there, so I mean he's going to need this 23-second lead, I think, just to hold on to this.
It looked like he got a rear on the grass just above the curb.
This is what we were saying. He didn't really need to push that much. He's lapping a lap faster. I mean, don't need to. I know you want to push yourself to go as fast as possible, but sometimes you just got to make sure you stay safe. I mean, let's keep an eye on these next few laps, see what he can do. But if he loses any more than a second a lap,
in fact, he's coming into the pits, Alex.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's had a bit of a meatball flag there. It could be some serious damage. Let's have a look at where Richard is.
Just going into the yeses, I think. He is. Richard definitely gained this lead. As well, Conrad Venter's in the pits. I wonder what's happened there.
Yeah, that must have been a tow as well. He has totally lost the front end of his car.
In fact, he's coming around turn 3.
Let's see if we can't get a replay of that.
Yeah, coming down the left hill Andrews side by side with the an MP4.
Nasty one, flipped it and everything. Yeah, tried to go around the outside. We know how tricky that corner is. Sebastian down to 4th now.
Probably make it all the way down up into 6th, maybe 5th, 6th.
Yeah, it's showing us 5th, still in the pits. It's over a minute's worth of repairs so far.
Johan and Angela are still looking very racy.
It looks like Conrad's had to re-tow again, so I'm guessing that his race looks like it's done. Sebastian's done the same, so
Sebastian's just heading back out again. Now I'm guessing he's a lap down actually.
he is indeed.
But yeah, that is
So we've
Richard
got
just about.
Johan around the outside again, and again he gets the braking all wrong, gets on the grass. He's going to have to do all the hard work again. It's pretty easy for Angelo now. He knows exactly what he needs to do and just keep
Soon
closing
Angelo
that
just
door on the outside.
a little bit wide actually in the final turn.
Yeah, it seems like this is survival of the fittest. Out here, lots of mistakes being made. Yeah, Conrad's still in the pits, I think, so it's looking like his race is well and truly done. I'm not surprised the front end's missing off of that Riley.
Yeah, absolutely kicking himself.
Right, we've got the leader now coming on to start his lap. Let's jump on board and just
Yeah,
he can
let's
take
go.
us for a lap.
Here he goes, turn one, drops it down to about third gear I think. Runs it, use a little bit of the curb, up and over the hill, dab of the brakes. Down a gear I was taking that, and then just flat out pretty much all the way. Heavy on the brakes, down 2 gears. Looks like he's got a longer gearbox actually. Gets a good run, now it's the fast left hand downhill. You have to be very careful the car doesn't try to wash out. You see how a little lift. Into the hairpin, quickly down the gears, into first gear. Treats it as a double apex and then straight back on the power. All the way down this very bumpy, hilly straight, which isn't really a straight. Got his sight sets on a MP4. Coming into the fast left, right, drops it down 1 gear, down another gear. Just letting it coast. Probably into 2nd gear there. Drops it into 1st maybe. Just watching that MP4, goes to the inside. You can see even going to the inside into turn 1, it's very hard to find a braking point.
Yeah, he's got about 5-second gap now from Andre, so again he can't afford to rest on his laurels too much, but doesn't need to overly push. He's already seen what's happened to Sebastian. Conrad Venter still trying to get his car fixed. It's not going to happen. I think his race is done.
I would like to think so. Maybe get a word with him just after the race if he's still around. Unless he's thrown his headset in disgust. Also, it looks like Johan's just dropped off the back of this little battle that he was having. 32 minutes in, lap 23, 24 for the MP4s.
Yeah, he's never really been able to recover from that, where he went wide again. I think he's probably just kicking himself and maybe overdriving a little bit, but Angelo's there, I suppose, so he'll definitely want to get him by the end of the race. You can clearly see he's quicker. It's just
In fact, Conrad's made his way back out onto the track. You can get a quick glimpse of that one, Alex. That car is absolutely dead.
yeah, that isn't. Yeah, he needs to pull apart that.
If you ever wondered what's in front of the Riley, well there you go.
Yeah, not a great deal. Some suspension, and that's about it.
You can see here the Johan very wide there. Turn 1. I think I can hear somebody knocking at my front door. That'll be a sec.
Professionalism of sim racing commentary. A man with a cold and people knocking on the front doors. No, Johan pretty much all but caught up with Angela at this point. It's pretty much the only battle going on the circuit at the moment, so can't really show you too much more. Andre is slowly catching Richard up in the proto class, so let's see if he can get to him by the end of the race. Might make an interesting battle for the lead, as again Johan gets a whole load of dirt.
Seems nobody was at the door, so back to the racing we go.
It looks like Laura's had another accident as well. She's in the pits big time. So although the car doesn't look in too bad shape, so but third pit stop, 50 seconds she's been in there, so there's certainly not going to be too many Rileys left at the end of this one.
Yeah, the car itself looks perfectly good. No bumps, no scrapes, so a little confusing with that one.
Yeah, 2 laps down. I mean, Conrad's in there again, hoping to try and get a tiny little bit more repairs done.
Meanwhile, Johan's definitely caught back up again. It looks like we've had a spin there in the final corner.
Yeah, who was that?
Angelero. No, it wasn't, sorry. It was Mirko. So Mirko's now lost the lead.
So Luigi takes the lead, and Johan's through as well, so that's just what you want to see. Gets himself past one of these Team GT cars.
I need to see another though. I was thinking he's having deja vu. Definitely a good showing though for these Team GT.
Yeah, where are these guys in the championship at the minute? Because like I say, this is the second race we've covered, and these two have been at the top end of the...
Mirko, I think, is doing pretty well. Just switch over.
This is where Johan's going to struggle, because we know he suffers a little bit straight line speed.
In fact, Luigi is actually leading the championship on 800 points. Mirko, where are you? Mirko's down in 24th.
Yeah, Johan coming under a lot of pressure now. Just needs to hold on to it for a couple of laps, try and build up a bit of a lead. Doesn't want to lose the slipstream of the car in front of him. He needs that straight line speed disadvantage that he's got.
Johan's sitting 14th actually, so definitely a good showing from the MP4s. Mirko's starting to pull away from his little spin.
Yeah, you can see the difference in the line.
Bridging that gap a little bit, but look who's just behind these three now.
Yeah.
So I see.
Yeah, he's kept himself quiet, watched these two battle it out for most of the race, but he's got himself involved. Seems like his car's perhaps a little bit better over the long run.
Yeah, he started dead last on the grid, so worked his way up into this position now. Up into 5th, so he's putting the pressure on Angelero.
It's what Johan needs actually, just so can and he's having to defend, so he's dropped off him. Is exactly what he needed.
He's definitely come out of nowhere as I see. Looking very racy in the Golf car. Almost nudges him out of the way.
He's trying to keep that inside line. Angelo knows it needs to cover it. I think he's got it done here. His car's not suffering the straight line speed issues that we saw from Johan, so up the inside. Braking down into the corner, he's got it done. Hugs the curb. Angelo might have a little look at the switchback, doesn't happen.
It's all going very wrong for Angelero now. Where did he start? Started P4. It's now P5 for the MP4s.
Yeah, still salvageable from here. He can still hold on to his, or maintaining his grid position. 31 laps in at the moment.
Got 10 minutes remaining.
Richard's just built his gap up at the front of the Riley class as well, 7.1 seconds at the moment. Sticking with the MP4s, most of the actions here, these four cars, all in the same shot. And actually we can see the leader, the Riley's in the background. So this could spice it up as he comes through.
Looks like Conrad Venter's been out for another lap again. Maybe just trying to salvage something. You're saying just before we come on, it's his second worst track, so. See, RC's definitely had the better of these four guys, it would look.
Yeah, he's just pulled away now, so let's see what he can do. So Richard gets himself past.
Looks like Merkel might be coming under some pressure from Johan as well. Here comes the Riley race leader.
Yep, straight through. Got a few of the FW31 drivers starting to join the town, so just a reminder that follow straight after this race we'll be switching up to the Road to Pro race. So top 10 drivers obviously trying to gain their pro license. So we're just going to have a couple of commercial breaks in between and then we'll be straight to that action, so stay tuned.
So coming up to 7 minutes remaining. Leaders just come through for lap 32, 33. Looking on 113, or at least stuck in traffic. Probably get about 5 or so more laps, I would imagine.
Yeah, Merker pulled away from Johan that last lap, but that might have been down to traffic. Look how busy this back straight is now. Pretty much the whole field that's still running is on that back straight, so.
And at the back of this train is Andre, who's second in the Riley. He's definitely kept himself out of trouble. And actually, just thought I saw a car in the corner of my eye going off track, but it's one of the MP4s who's down in 12th. So he jumps into the pits. Sebastian's still going. He's P4. Albeit a lap down, so.
Yeah, let's just have a quick look. Still it's putting a whole load of damage on the front right of that car. It's not surprising. Didn't have to whack that wall. Like I say, we were on board at the time and it totally dislodged the camera from pointing forward. We were pointing somewhere, not sure where. have to think if the tyres could explode, the amount of damage that's on the front right bodywork there, you would think that that would be rubbing on that front right and you'd be eating through them, so rather fortunate there.
Conrad's going. Oh, it looks like he's got a front covered as Conrad, I think.
Yeah, I think Conrad's perhaps just trying to get an extra spot. Both Laura and him are having like pit stop battles, I think, just to see if they can get their cars into a reasonable position and gain an extra lap.
Conrad's only 1 lap down on Laura, so definitely possible. But he has got his nose back on the car. Must have found it.
I was about to say, it took that long to get it back to the pit so the crew can reattach it. But driver who isn't missing his nose is Richard up front. 9-second lead now after he's navigated all the traffic. I shouldn't think he'll have to do it again. So just cool, calm, collected drive.
Well, the next car out the road is Conrad, so... Luigi's looks like he's got this one as well.
Yeah, he made that mistake earlier on, but got gifted the victory, or the win, whatever. It's the same thing. He got gifted the lead, didn't he, with Mirko making the mistake on the last corner. So
yeah, he did, yeah. Still, the action seems to have died down.
yeah, still Johan trying to get on the back of Mirko, though. Some of the traffic perhaps helping him do that. These two still quite close on tracks. Last time by, some 4/10 faster. Got about 3 minutes left of the race, I would think.
Yeah, just took back to 3.
One of the MP4s just going off in front.
Sebastian looking at the inside. And another. Johan! No! He's actually spun it into the last corner, into the S's.
That's Angelo through again. Let's have a quick replay of that.
Don't think he actually saw Sebastian. And he just caught it on the grass on the outside.
Yeah, made a bit of contact with the outside tyre wall there.
You're absolutely frustrated.
But that'll please RC. Another spot for him. 3rd place in class. Starting from the back. He'll be delighted with that.
Definitely. It's one thing I've been trying to do actually a little bit this season is not do as many qualifying. Had to last week at Brands Hatch. Nigh on impossible to get past the traffic.
Yeah, what was it, the full course or the...
yeah, it was Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Brands Hatch Grand Prix rather than the Indy. Although I wouldn't mind doing the Indy. I was watching...
Well, the DTMs run the Indy course, didn't they?
yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting. As Richard comes on, I think this is probably going to be his final lap at this point. Might get another one in. Just behind Conrad Venter at the moment.
I think he might get one. On to 49, so I think it might be this one and then another.
Conrad lets the leader go. Conrad has actually picked up a spot as well now, so he's 6th in class.
Still, there's a battle actually still going on, Alex. Johan and Angelero again. Johan's definitely trying to get this place back. But he's stuck in the same position again. Doesn't know where to get it.
He just needs to stay nice and close behind him.
Does look like this could be the last lap now. Just ticked over 50 minutes. Richard's still going at full speed.
Again, Johan looks around the outside. 3 times he's been off trying to make something around the outside happen. Is he going to make it stick this time? He's still there. He's potentially got the inside for this. No, Angelo cuts him off. Looks like they're going to get one more lap. Let's just jump on board with the leader at the moment.
I can see Richard coming into the final corner now. So there you go, Richard comes over. In fact, the way he's still driving.
Yeah, looks like he's just snuck through on time. Gotta remember the pace lap doesn't count. So the clock always starts there, which can always be a bit deceiving, so we usually get one or so more laps.
Looks like Johan's had another try and he's fallen way back now.
Frustrating race for him. He's definitely had the pace on his own, but trying to get past people, he's just made a lot of little mistakes.
Let's just have a quick look. Coming out of the airpin, just had a wheel on the grass. Spun it, nicked the wall, but nothing too major again.
And Luigi smashing it here, really, in this class now. Made his mistake earlier on, but recovered well. He was fortunate not to lose any places. So he's been able to keep on the back of Mirko, but not really make any sort of any charge to put any real pressure on him.
His last lap was actually quicker than Mirko, so... This time 1:17.1 and 1:17.0, so he's still quicker. It's just not enough. In fact, I think he's the quickest of the MP4s at the minute.
Yeah, he was indeed. Yeah, and Luigi only 17.2, so indeed.
Actually just coming through the S's.
Yeah, white flag's out as well, so this is going to be the last time by. Checker flags are waiting for Richard here. He's drove a sensible race, got himself a victory. Congratulations. Former Mosport circuit. Canada Tire Mosport, I believe it's called now, the long version.
Canadian Tire Motorsport Park.
Oh, there we go. And
new sponsorship.
Andre as well, coming through for second place. Another driver has kept himself out of trouble.
Luigi's just coming over now to take the win as well in the MP4s.
Yeah, fantastic drive from him as well.
So that's GT1, GT2, Team GT1 and 2. And I think our driver of the day, well, definitely in my opinion, is RC.
Ah, yeah, absolutely. Starting from the back there. think if he'd have been on the pace, got himself on the pace a little bit earlier on, he might have had something for the front two. Seemed like he perhaps didn't have as much preparation going into this one, so took him some time to get fully up to speed in the race. But once he got happy with the car and the set, he really dropped the hammer and started to put some pressure on those guys.
That's everybody done now, so final standings if you want to go through them quick, Alex.
Yeah, I can't actually bring them up. Looking, a couple of drivers left for circuit already, so it always plays havoc with the overlay. But yeah, Richard took the victory. Andre was second. I couldn't tell you the rest. I'm sorry, I can't see them. You can see the official ones. I can't.
Yeah, Christian in third, Sebastian, who was leading for most of that race, in fourth, a lap down. Arjun in fifth. He was the last, actually, of the Rileys, just in front of the MP4s. Luigi takes the win in the MP4, so he's still maintaining that lead up at the front of the championship, so wonder what his points will be like for this week. Mirko, his teammate, in second. RC, I would drive the day, in third. Angelero fourth, so he finally kept that position after pretty much a long, the whole race battle with Johan, who finished in fifth. And that's pretty much it. Conrad did get that place back on Laura, so he finished 13th overall, so what's that, 6th in the Riley, so let's see if we can actually grab him. Seems like we've got plenty of time. We've got 20 odd minutes or so, if not less. So let's just pull him up. I'm sure he's thrown his controller, his pad, his mouse, everything, everywhere. Let's just grab him. Conrad, are you there?
Good afternoon.
Can see that you're actually laughing about that one, so
It's all you can do. Stupid move like that, ending up in the barrier through. Well, I can only blame myself for that one, can't I?
yeah, looking down the outside of the fast left-hander, car does tend to get away from you on the front, so maybe a bit of impatience from yourself.
Yeah, I said before the race, if you just keep your nose clean, you can get a good result. And I just went out and exactly didn't do that. I mean, I managed to get a couple of places back because the guys in front of me made mistakes, and then I just went and threw it all away.
Yeah, definitely entertaining, and the fact that you landed on a smiley face, which I don't know if you noticed, but it's quite funny.
Oh, did I?
Yep.
I'll have to watch that back then.
Where are we next week?
I think it's Laguna Seca.
That certainly looks good now. Now that it's had the facelift, so it'd be a pleasure to drive around there rather than the pain that it was before.
Well, I'm not really sure what updates they have made to it. If it's the scenery, then I haven't really noticed before. I'm not the one that looks at the trees next to the track, really.
Yeah, a few of the shadows are actually in different places, so it's finding some new braking points, which is going to be tricky.
But should be alright. I didn't really run the shadows on iRacing, so it should actually give me a few more points to pick out from. But Laguna's a nice track. I know we moan a lot about it, especially the corkscrew and just the corner before it. But again, it's just pretty much the same as Mosport. If you keep your nose clean, you can get some good results.
Definitely true. Anyway, thanks for the entertainment there, Conrad.
Always a pleasure.
I'm sure we'll catch you next week.
Cheers, guys.
So that's it for the Grand Am. Just gonna head over to the FW31, Alex, if you wanna thank the sponsors and then get ready for the break.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've already dropped the overlay. So yeah, big shout out to GTI Omega, HD Sim Equipment, Sim Garage, iRacing for sponsoring us broadcast, putting on the service and everything. We look forward to broadcasting this one next week. But for now, it's goodbye from me and Dean for the Grand Am. But stay tuned, because we'll be switching straight over to the Road to Pro Series in a couple of minutes.
I can tell you about iRacing's precision-engineered cars. I can tell you about iRacing's authentically detailed tracks. I can tell you about iRacing's incredibly satisfying physics.
But what I can't tell you is what it's like to be part of this.